In fact, that's why we're nice to Joe Rogan. A lot of people go, Mike, Joe Rogan banned you from his podcast. Why are you not mean to Joe? Why do you troll Joe Rogan? Well, because Joe Rogan has had Wim Hof on there. The Joe Rogan podcast, when he has people like Wim Hof on there, Steve Maxwell, it's a great podcast. It's only when Brian Callahan and those guys talk politics that it becomes embarrassing. It's humiliating to watch Brian Callahan try to talk about politics. These idiots, they don't have any inside sources. They don't know anybody. They don't have any people at any level tell them anything. Just, here's what I read on CNN. Here's what I read on WAPO. But Joe does great work. He just doesn't want... Well, Joe's a bully. I mean, you saw that with the Steve Crowder thing. Joe's a bully. You saw Joe try to bully Milo. You saw Joe try to bully Crowder. And a debate with me and Joe Rogan would be not good for him. So he knows that. So yeah, Joe is a bully at heart. Look at how he treated Steven Crowder. That was a disgrace, really. He got away with bullying Milo. So if he tried to bully me the way he bullied Crowder, I would shred him. It would be because I like to debate. Crowder is a nice guy. But I like that kind of stuff. So I'll go hard. Joe's not intellectual. Joe's a good guy, don't get me wrong. But he's definitely not intellectual, and he wouldn't be able to go one-on-one with me. So instead, when everybody goes, Joe, why don't you have Mike on? He won't even answer you. That's the funny thing about Joe is he won't even answer. When people mention my name, he dodges. He won't even answer. He just completely dodges them. And it was also funny because Dave Rubin goes, have you heard of Mike Cernovich? And Joe Rogan goes, yeah. Dave Rubin goes, you should have Mike on your podcast. And Joe goes, and looks down. Scott Adams was on his podcast. Scott goes, you should have Cernovich on your podcast. Joe goes, I need to smoke some weed. Because he couldn't bully me like he bullied Crowder. It's just the reality. But Wim Hof stuff is great. So I'm, like I said, pro Joe Rogan. I'm way pro. So I will not ever troll Joe. He's not intellectual. Definitely not intellectual. I don't know. I think maybe I'll do another Periscope tonight. I didn't interview Rubin. Somebody else actually did. So Dave Rubin and I haven't done a follow-up episode in March. So I kind of want to do a follow-up episode on the Rubin Report. And we're kind of working on that. Dave's busy, I'm busy. But I have a strict policy where I don't, what do you say? Like, I don't ask people to be on their podcast. Here's why. I have a podcast. People are always asking me to be on it, even when they don't really bring value necessarily. And it just gets annoying. So I'm not going to be the guy who's like, Dave Rubin, put me on your podcast, man. Even though I've been on Rubin's show and we talk and everything, I'm a big believer in boundaries, okay? I'm a very big believer in boundaries, even among friends of mine, where I don't even ask to be on Stefan Molyneux's show. They email me. They email me when they need a guest, and usually we're able to work it out. So even though Stefan Molyneux is a friend of mine, I'm real big in boundaries, right? I don't want to be the person who's always trying to use somebody for their platform. So maybe I should be a little bit more aggressive about that. But I figure I get my message out good enough that people know I exist. And then you find out who wants you on the show or not. Not that kind of thing. So yeah, I've been on Molyneux's show like 6 times, which was great. Been on Rubin Report once, which was great. I would like to do a follow-up show with Rubin. So I may have Rubin on my podcast. I might invite him to do that. I want to interview Dave Rubin because a lot of people don't know what an amazing interviewer I am. Have you all seen the interview I did with Scott Adams? So a lot of people, are kind of used to just me being like, Mike Cernovich, change your play. You see the monologues. But if you watch the interview I did with Scott Adams, I'm actually a fantastic interviewer. And I think, go on YouTube, Mike Cernovich, Scott Adams. It's a fantastic interview. It's about mindset, winning at life, how to become more successful. We talk about Donald Trump. We talk about persuasion. You got to watch the interview I did on YouTube with Scott Adams. I would like to do an interview like that of Dave Rubin. So I don't want to be on Dave Rubin's show. I want to interview Dave Rubin in my interview style. Like, how did Dave Rubin break away from this? How is he building his brand? A lot of the kind of stuff people don't ordinarily ask him or talk about. That's more what interests me. In terms of going on other people's show and being like, yeah, repping my brand is already big enough. You know, I already have a massive, brand, so I'm not trying to like go on and pimp my brand on the Rubin Report. I just think it would be interesting to get that other side of Dave Rubin and ask those questions that only I ask. I don't really want to interview Alex Jones. Alex Jones is a cool guy, but it wouldn't be much of an interview. Alex Jones rarely breaks character. I like interviews with people who are willing to break character. And that's why the interview with Scott Adams went so well. The interview with Scott Adams, we talked about his view on child rearing, ISIS, terrorism attacks, Trump stuff, how he wins at life, the way he approaches life. That's an interesting thing. So I like to talk about. Joe Rogan banned me from his podcast. There was an episode. Rubin actually was on the Joe Rogan Report, and Rubin was like, "Hey Joe, have you heard of Mike Cernovich?" And Joe Rogan goes, "Yeah." Hold on, you smoke some pot. This stuff is stressing me out. And Rubin's like, "Yeah, you never had Mike on your podcast." And Joe goes, "No." And Dave goes, "You should have Mike on your podcast." And Joe just goes, "Let's move on." So, for whatever reason, maybe I offended one of Joe's friends. Me on the Joe Rogan podcast, not going to happen. And like I told people, nothing personal. It's Joe Rogan's show. I've never emailed asking to be on the Rogan Report. I've never said the Joe Rogan podcast. I've never said, "Joe, please let me be on your show." I've never asked him. It's his show. People have asked him for over a year, like, have Mike on your show, over a year. And he won't answer those. If you tweet at him, "Why don't you have Cernovich on your show?" he won't answer your tweets, right? So he answered to me, he goes, "You're being jealous, fella. You're not banned from my show."
You're being dramatic, fella.
He goes, "You're being dramatic, fella. You're not banned from my show." And that's just it's complete bullshit. People for over a year have been like, "Joe, have Cernovich on your show." Joe won't even answer those tweets, right? Won't even answer the tweets for over a year. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird. Joe, whenever my name is brought up to him, he specifically won't answer it. But I go, maybe that's my imagination. Maybe I haven't been banned, whatever. No biggie. So then when Rubin goes on his show and is like, have you had Mike on? And he's like, "No." "Well, you should." And he's just like, "Oh, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about something else." So, I respect Joe Rogan too much to not say his response to me is bullshit, right? So I think Joe has spent too much time in an echo chamber where people don't call him on his bullshit. If for over a year people are saying, "Joe, will you have Mike on your show?" and he won't even answer a yes or no. And then when Rubin is like, "Hey dude, why don't you have Mike on your show?" and Joe won't answer. You don't get to be like, "You're being dramatic, fella. You're not banned." Well, one is I wasn't even being dramatic. I'm just saying I was banned from Joe Rogan's show, which all objective evidence points to that conclusion, right? And then it's even funny. He goes, You're being dramatic, fella. You're not banned from my show. I'm booked months in advance, and hundreds of people want to be on." But that is still like an evasive answer. That's such like a bullshit answer, right? I'm just booked up. He didn't say, "Well, I'm booked up. Come on in 3 months." Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. But that's fine. That's fine with me. Like I said, I have my podcast. People enjoy it. I have my podcast, people enjoy it, and I'm happy with that, and I don't take it personally if people want to ban me from their shows. I've been banned from Fox News, I've been banned from television, it's no big deal. I believe in freedom. Nobody has a right to be on my podcast. I don't have a right to be on anybody else's podcast. So how can you, hey, what's going on? I think he wants to say hi. Julius wants to say hi. Come here. What are you doing? Oh, no, you want to... Oh, Julius wants to go outside. Oh, Shauna's... Oh, he's really... This dog loves Shauna. This dog loves Shauna. Yeah, so you can't take it. I don't take it personally that Fox News banned me. Although I think the fact that I'm banned from Fox News, I think, says a lot about how corrupt Fox News is. You know, it's one thing for Joe Rogan to be like, I don't want to have Mike on my show because Mike would actually challenge a lot of my assumptions about the world, and Mike is a legitimate intellectual who can go take people to deep waters, right? I can take people to deep waters. It's the same reason Sam Harris is afraid of me, would never debate me even for charity. I can take people at deep waters, and a lot of people aren't ready to go into deep waters with me, okay? People are used to being like, Trump is like a bigot. Oh my God, Trump is a bigot. Trump scares me. Can you believe how bad he... Oh, yeah, bro, Trump... It's just basic bitch shit, you know? Oh, Trump is just a really... It's just... Like, that isn't an intellectual. That isn't a nuanced thinker. Here, come on here. Okay, yeah, that isn't a nuanced thinker or anything like that. So, there... Yeah, I take people to deep waters. If you say, well, Trump is a bigot, you know, is Hillary a bigot? Is Obama a bigot? Is Bernie Sanders a bigot? How do you define bigot? How do you apply that definition to people? Well, if you're claiming that Trump should disavow some of the violence from his supporters, should Hillary Clinton and Obama disavow the violence perpetuated by the left against Trump supporters? I'll take people, you know, deep waters. You don't get away with me with bullshit. Basic bitch talking points, basic bro talking points. Those don't work. So I'm like, all right, let's get nuanced and let's get deep. What are your standards of measurement? How do you judge if somebody's good or evil? How do you apply the standard to other people? Let's go deep. Let's go philosophical. Let's get all Socrates on motherfuckers, right? So people don't want to go deep with me like that because they realize we're gonna go to deep waters together, and I can be very friendly. But that is intimidating for people. So I understand why Joe Rogan banned me from his show. I get that. He wants to talk to Sam Harris about Trump is scary, and you can just say Trump is scary and Hillary's evil, but I'm not going to address how Hillary Clinton sold weapons to Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia are now dropping cluster bombs of the Yemenis, right? And how they're killing Christians because of Muslims. No, we're not going to go nuanced. We're not going to say, well, wait a minute, like Hillary Clinton was already in government and she sold weapons to the Saudis and that they imprisoned people for being gay and she sold weapons to the Saudis and the cluster bombs are maiming children, destroying the Yemenis, right? Decimating a population. No. Those are deep waters. Those are deep waters. People don't want to go there with me. Because I'm informed on the issues, I'm nuanced, you're not going to rattle me, you're not going to get away with bullshit. So I'll go deep with people, and people don't want to do that. I respect that. Now, Fox News, I have a problem with being banned by Fox News because they call themselves a right-wing network, a conservative network. So I have a problem with Fox News banning me because if you're going to say I am a right-wing conservative network, and then you ban somebody, and the funny thing is, hey, Shauna, remember when I went on Fox News? Come here and tell the people the full story of that. Do you want to go on camera or are you a little tired?
No, I need to finish.
Did I ever email the producers at Fox News to get on TV?
No.
Did I ask them?
No, you didn't want to go. You asked me, you forwarded me the email asking if you should go on.
Okay.
And I said yes.
So that's actually from Shauna. I never asked Fox News to have me on. It was all the way in New York. Fox News invited me on their show, and I forwarded the email to Shauna, and I was like, should I go on Fox News? And she's like, yeah, just go on. And then I figured, okay, I'll go on. Yeah, so that's the idea that I'm some kind of like, I'm really trying to get on TV. You'll never find an email from me asking to be on TV. And when I was invited, Shauna's like, yeah, dude, just go on. It'll be fun. You've never been on TV. It'll just be another, box to check or whatever. So I went on. And then the next day, the day after, the Daily Beast writes an article critical of me where they lie about me. And then Fox News goes, oh man, we'll never have him on again. So Fox News banned me from TV. That's bullshit, right? It isn't bullshit for other people to ban me because they have a left-wing agenda. It is fucking bullshit for Fox News to ban me from their show that means that they're not truly a right-wing enterprise. How do you ban somebody like me? I have a bigger following than the other people who go on. I have a legitimate, not to be too full of myself, but I'm legitimately have a presence, whatever you want to call it, readership, viewership, book, any metric you use, like I'm the real deal, right? You can't. So if you're banning me, you're saying that I don't care about any of the people who like my stuff and reads my stuff. It's a direct affront on all of you who watch my stuff. So it isn't just an attack on me, it's an attack on everybody who likes my stuff. And from Fox News, that is a attack that we shouldn't let stand. That is an attack that so the Fox News thing we're going to do something about. The Fox News thing, we're going to let them know that they have every right to ban me, but that we're going to use our power and our free speech to let Fox News know that that's completely bullshit to ban me, to ban somebody with my connection to the people, to ban somebody like me by Fox News. That can't stand. Even though, again, the irony is that I'm not even trying to get on. That's the whole irony of it is I don't want to be unbanned because I want to go fly out to New York, because I'm not going to fly out to Fox News studio in New York to talk for 5 minutes. I'd rather do a Periscope. I've been on TV. Do you know what TV does for my book sales? For my Twitter follower count? For blog views? For anything? Zero. Going on TV means nothing to me. Nothing. Right? But it annoys me that they're fraud. The fraud is what annoys me. The fraud of Fox fraud, that annoys me.
You're so cute.
That's what I have a problem with. So I think I'm going to declare a legal fatwa on Fox News. So I think maybe we're going to have an email campaign. Fox News, if they want to ban me and they want to declare war on me, legal war. Fox News has declared war on me. Okay, then. So I can declare war on Fox News, and I don't think they're going to like what I have planned. All legal. War is metaphorical. War doesn't mean, illegal actions. But I have a lot of things planned for Fox News, because if they want to ban me and they want to declare war on me, then they drew first, like in Rambo, right? They drew first blood. Fox News drew first blood. Right? They didn't have to say they banned me. They could have just not invited me back on. Right? They apologized to the Daily Beast, a liberal blog owned by Chelsea Clinton. They didn't have to issue a statement about me. They could have just said, yeah, we had him on, period. They said we had him on and we're never going to have him on again. That's drawn blood. That is an attack. That is an attack. They should have just never invited me back on. They should have just said, because, again, I never emailed them asking to be on. I never said, so I'm not like they got to deal with me trying to confront them. They could have just not said anything about me. But instead, they badmouthed me to Chelsea Clinton's blog, The Daily Beast. That is a problem. So I have some things planned for Fox News, too. And he's going upstairs?
Hey, but are you going to poo? Let's poo downstairs. Come here.
So yeah, we got some things planned. It's going to be a fun year. Like I said, I am hard. Yeah, Julius is, he likes to run up the stairs. We trained him on these, the paths, so we're trying to remind him now to go outside and not just use the paths. We're breaking the habit. Yeah, Julius is good. Julius has got to go potty and do his thing. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Mike Cernovich, DangerandPlay.com. Gorilla Mindset. You will see me on Al Jazeera soon. We'll see what Al Jazeera does. So when I went on Al Jazeera, this is becoming like a Cernothon, which I wasn't intending for it to be. But when I went on Al Jazeera, it wasn't live. And they're going to splice my answers based on questions that they might not have asked. So you know how I combated that? I'll tell you how. I just made sure that any sentence they took was a good sentence. I made sure that every sentence that I said, everything I said was on point, so they can chop up my interview however they want. It doesn't matter. It's still just great sentences everywhere. I actually tried to record it, but I didn't have enough storage space on my iPhone, so I actually went out and bought a new phone. I know I'm an iSheep. I'm an iSheep, but I'm too busy with other stuff to go out and fuss with the Android and optimizing. Just iPhone is good enough for me. So what I did was I just knew, okay, any sentence that I said could be edited and spliced, and I made sure that every sentence was articulate, on point, that it got our message out as a people. I brought up violence against Trump supporters. What's wrong?
He's not playing.
That's okay. He doesn't want to? All right, he wants to play. Kick that little spirit out for him. He has one of those bursts of energy. So Julius has these massive bursts of energy now. Yeah, so I'm just making sure that anything I say, I don't know when it's going to air, but when it does, I'll let you know. And then I'll tell you when it airs. So I'll tell you when the Al Jazeera interview with Cernovich airs. And then if they are critical, here's what I tell people. You can be, in dealing with me, you can be critical but honest. Okay? Critical but honest. I don't have any issue with people criticizing my ideas, criticizing what I truly believe. My issue is with people lying about me. A paper in the Netherlands actually lied about me, and I hired a lawyer, and they fixed it. So a paper in the Netherlands had lied about me, so I hired a lawyer, and we got that fixed, right? So people lie about me, I have a problem. If people criticize me, I don't have a problem with that. Criticism is free speech. People can criticize me all they like. Don't lie about me, though. So if Al Jazeera is critical of me, but they're honest and they don't make up things that I didn't say, then I don't have a problem with it. So I'll let you know when that airs. Yeah, critical but honest. I'll let you know if that airs. Dog, Julius. Thanks for tuning in. Mike, Cernovich, DangerandPlay.com. Gorilla Mindset.